Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann. Oh, Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann.
Good morning. This was a interesting morning or night. Why it was interesting is that I had a reoccurring dream. I've seen it now 3 times. Or a dream with the same variation. And I always wake up, and when I wake up, I don't realize it was a dream, and I start looking at stuff. So the first one was in my home, and I dreamt that something was falling from the roof. Something like gold flakes, big ones, like, chunks. And I wake up, and I start looking for them in the bed. Where are they? And I actually was pushing Terhi over to find them. The second one was also at my home, but this time there was some kind of a box on the ceiling. And I obviously, both when I saw these gold flakes and this box, when I wake up, I switch the light on, and first I started looking for this, and then I can't remember what I did to the box, but last night there was some kind of a control unit. It wasn't a tremendously big box. We're talking 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 10, something like that, on its side. But this time, last night, it was some kind of a control unit on the ceiling, and it somehow was very important that I would fiddle with it, and it's always in the dreams. It's directly above me, and it's so vivid, the dream, that I continue processing the thing it takes me about, well, Terhi knows better, but it takes me about 5 minutes to realize that that it's not true, that it was a dream, but I really like to know what is the meaning of repeating dreams. To me, they have some kind of a significance that you're seeing them. Before I became a Christian, I had a repeating dream of me running on a sandy beach. And there was a voice calling out for me, "Christopher." And it wasn't terrifying, but it was somehow, I wanted to get away from it. And I was running along this beach, and you know how seaweeds are, these seaweeds that have these little lumps in them. Rakkoleva, it's called in Finnish. And first, the sandy beach, it had this seaweed in it, in the sand, and it was still, it was slightly unpleasant to run, but it was still runnable. But the further I got, the harder the seaweeds got, and eventually they turned into kind of blade-like things. That they were petrified, the seaweeds, and they would cut into my feet. And this voice was calling Christopher. And that was a repeating dream. And now, and this was, you know, my teenage years or maybe after that. And now I interpret that, because it has now disappeared. After I became a Christian, it has disappeared. This is a dream of me leading my own life and not, what do you call it? Taking God into account, and he was calling me, and I'm making a mess of it in my life. But I would like to know the significance of the box or stuff falling from the roof dream. I need to pray about this. A positive symptom that has now occurred, or I had it now when I got up to, or the first time I walked after getting out of bed, is that I wasn't like having this starting jerking when I start walking. That's quite typical. Or no, sorry, it has happened every morning that I kind of jerk a little and then I get going. But now I was more confident in my first steps. Which is very good. I always wonder when I report positive things that how depressed I will be if some symptoms reappear or something happens. Let's.
Went to a dance, looking for romance. Saw Barbara Ann, so I thought I'd take a chance with Barbara Ann.
Yesterday I complained that there wasn't any rosehip soup or blueberry soup available, and today they have rectified the matter. Yesterday they told that they would actually go to the store and buy it, but I declined and said I had to get to work. But yeah, they have smoked salmon and fresh fruits, better than other places, and it's looking kind of fancy, the restaurant. I noticed that yesterday's video didn't have it, and it goes all the way back there. That's the entrance down there. I like it.
You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, Barbara Ann,
Sat down at the computer and noticed this. I went funny yesterday. I ate the whole container of this. It was citron sorbet, and what do you call it? Ate it after the time. So, quick update before I go and clean up. I rode the Stockholm city bike, and the chain popped loose halfway through the journey, and I had to play a mechanic. I got the chain back on so my journey could continue, but it made a mess of me. I'm now going to check my jacket and my shirt, whether they have oil stains on them. But yeah, this morning I took the route that I travelled yesterday, which is the number 1 bus route combination with the 72 bus. But now I did a completely, maybe I'll post the videos here.
I took a different route that goes along the harbour and then ducks into the city and comes to the hotel. So what this proves to me that my it's nearly 18, it's more than that, it's 20 months now that I've spent in Stockholm. So I'm starting to learn the place. And but now, clean up. Clearly I have more time creating videos when I'm traveling. Yeah, about my lunch, it was gluten-free nachos with beans and chicken, 2 different toppings, and then chilies and coriander. You know, it's you can eat. It's good once a month, but I couldn't consume that stuff every day. And now it is out to a fusion Asian restaurant that is just a block away from the hotel, because so today's activity with the cycling, 120%. You're supposed to take about, I don't know, 10,000 steps to get up to 100. So, but then if you exercise, the exercising moves the bar very easily. So these 2 cycling trips, and they were only, other one was 3.2 kilometers and it was 3.7. So altogether 7 kilometers of cycling. The nasty thing today, when the chain popped off, I was, what do you call it? A guy passed me with a proper bike. Now there, yeah, that was one thing. That it depends on the bike that you get, how fast you can go. This had a proper, you know, it had more gears, or you could go faster with it. So, but then after the chain came loose, I was going over some bumps. I was too scared to do that. So my trip to the Pan-Asian restaurant was a no-go because they were under renovation, closed. But I found another place called Kungshallen. It's a food court that is in 3 different floors, and one of the, there was quite a lot of interesting restaurants. I also found another Scandic here in the neighborhood called Klara, and given that Kungshallen proximity, it might be a potential place to visit. It's just in the next block. So that might be. So I had miso soup and a small portion of sushi. It was all right. And now it is time to read some literature about MS and sensitive kids. Great